That's it's really interesting because Michael had been with the Alliance for a while, and he had accumulated some chargeback debt, and he spent a long time to pay it all off, thousands of dollars of chargeback debt, which is really kind of what finally got him into a position to get recontracted and get started with our companies again. And I think after going through that idea of customer service, learning that, you know, what had happened with which caused that chargeback debt, now being much more meticulous at creating a client for life to have a different experience. And it's such a level of maturity in the business that is, always think of it just so, it's an awesome thing. And you're going to see the dividends pay out in renewals and further sales as you know, the person trusts you. He knows that you weren't trying to jack his premium up. You know, it didn't matter. You were just trying to serve him. And then he felt like he trusts you, which then opens up all kinds of opportunities with his family. You know, I think that's a huge thing. There's one thing, so that this kind of reminds me of things to think about when you are engaging with a client, and it's subtle, but it's really important. I think this is some of the magic of Megan Wood, but other agents that do this as well, is, you know, when they're engaging with a client, okay, you know, the basic information that you're going to get from them health-wise is height and weight, meds, surgeries, right? You're gonna get all this underwriting information, you know, smoker, are they a smoker, that kind of thing. So you're thinking about placing them, you know, into a policy, okay? And this is really kind of the placement side. You know, can we get them covered, right? But here's the magic to persistency, okay? So placement is once you submit a policy, then it gets issue paid. That's placement. So if you submit 10 applications and then you get 7 issue paid, that's, you know, that's basically a 70% placement rate, which is really not that good. It ought to be in that 75%, 80% range. I have agents that are in the 90% range, okay? But this is kind of knowing what will fit into the policy, and then it's getting your clients to tell you the truth. We talked about this before, right? So what's the key to persistency? It's all the other information, It's the next level of getting to know someone, right, is kids, right? Their kids' names. Okay, what do the kids like to do? You know, kids' activities. Okay, it's, you know, the family life. What things do they like to do? You know, their likes, hobbies, you know, sports teams, if they're like mega fanatical, okay? These kinds of things, what's going on in their lives, okay? And then what this translates to is when you contact them again, you know, the second, third, fourth contact, you're contacting them not about business per se, saying, hey, I just wanted you to know your policy is still getting underwritten. By the way, you mentioned that Sammy's in T-ball. How's he been doing? Talking about the hot button issues. Oh, where's my focus? Now it got blurry. They're talking about the hot button issues. Oh, golly. Here we go again. Talking about the hot button issues in their lives, and so they know that they know that you were listening, right? That you were listening to them. You were not asking questions just to, you know, kind of pass the time, but you were serious about getting to know, you know, what is important in their lives. And, you know, it's the next contact, and it's not just business. You're asking, you know, personal questions that you found out here, you know, and and you were noting this when you're writing down on the lead, you're writing down these other things that you're getting to know about them so that you can reference it later, when you can call their children by name. You know, little things, not, you know, being overly, you know, an FBI investigator, but when you're starting to talk to them and then you just mention some things that they mentioned to you previously. So how did that work out? You said your kids were going back into schools. Like, how's that working out? Is that working out good? Oh, you have no idea. It's so much better. Oh yeah, my daughter went back to school too, back face to face, and she just loves it, you know. Oh yeah, my kids are, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you start talking about stuff that really matters to them, they look at you differently. And people don't remember what you say. What they do remember about you is how you made them feel. And you make them feel important. You make them feel like they are someone worthy to get to know, that you're not just an insurance agent. In that great book that Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Oh man, I'm not going to go into another coughing fit. This is allergy cough time. Anyway, letting them get to know you. See, there's something when you get to know someone, you get to care about them more. There's stuff that you care about them. Like when I discover stuff about you, it makes me want you to win. Like finding about what's going on in your life just makes me want to win. Like, I can't wait to talk to Ken, because Ken got a chance to play bass on the big stage in his praise and worship, in a praise and worship band. And she sent me pictures. And I'm so jazzed for him, because like he is in, like, you know, the big praise, like you see on YouTube, you know, big praise and worship. The house is dark and the stage is lit. And even though he's in the shadows playing bass, he's in the, you know, he's in the big leagues now, in a big praise and worship situation. And I haven't talked to him since, I don't think I've talked to him since then, but I can't wait to talk to him and ask him what that was like to get called up into, you know, and it's a big deal. You know, it's like getting called up to the major leagues in a way. You know, you're like in the minor leagues, but you're in the major leagues when you're playing a gig like that in a worship gig. And it's not a gig, it's a chance to praise the Lord through your instrument. And so I can't wait to talk about that, because I'm like sincerely interested, you know. And when I find out stuff about Tanya's health and wanting her to, you know, help her overcome the pain, and, you know, she lets me, you know, and maybe I'm a good, you know, vent for her to, you know, help her, you know, talk through it. And then let's get her mind thinking about helping other people. You know, that's one of those things where when you put your mind on helping other people, your problems diminish, because you're thinking about someone else, you're not thinking about yourself. And if I can get more of you to do that, you know, like Michael, you know, get his wisdom teeth out. He said other things going on in his life, but he's focused on his clients and talking about serving them and helping them and doing this kind of stuff. You take your eyes off yourself and you put it on others, and it's amazing how your life gets better. It doesn't mean your problems go away, but what it does mean is that your focus on how big those problems loom becomes much more diminished. And it doesn't overtake you, it doesn't rule you, because you're thinking about someone else. And the whole key to persistency, in my humble but accurate opinion, is that it's, again, take the eyes off you and put it on someone else. See, because I think that you by bringing on a client, you're going to earn an earthly commission, but I think your heavenly mission, you're going to be heavily rewarded on the mission. Your commission, you know, it's not about commission, it's about the mission. Does that make sense, gang? It's about the mission, and our mission is what, you know, ultimately makes a difference, right? It's ultimately what makes a difference. And so these kinds of things, gang, are what will make your life much better if you can focus on them and get to know them, and then start bringing their lives up, you know, and then share stuff about you that you can relate to something they're going through, or, you know, a joy that they're having with a thing that's going on in their life, you know, and celebrate it with them. And you become part of their family. You start integrating yourself into their lives, and they're going to want to keep their policies because they associate you with that good feeling of being secure, safe, that you actually care about them, and that you're going to do anything to help them, okay? And you can't put a value on it. You certainly can put a, you know, it's called client lifetime value. So there actually is an MBA term called CLV, client lifetime value. But I think it's, you know, it's eternal value. So it's after client lifetime, it's client eternal value. And I think the client eternal value, CEV, I'm going to coin a new term. It's going to be mine. I'm going to copyright it. Client eternal value is, did you make a meaningful difference in their life that they can like feel the love of our Creator through you, right? That they, you know, because can they feel that they've been valued as a child of God because you're treating them as a child of God, because you're a child of God, they're a child of God, and treating that as a brother or sister, and letting, you know, God's love flow through you so you can create client eternal value, which means much more, you know, making a meaningful difference in their life. So certainly client lifetime value as far as here on this earth and the income you're going to derive from it, but you know, you're going to have much more on the client eternal value, I think, when you start focusing on these things. And I think you'll feel better about yourself. Your self-worth is going to go through the roof. Your self-image will go through the roof because you're making a difference, okay? So anyway, that's my little spin on client eternal value.